Europeans brought these scary stories to the New World, but the fact remains, humans have been far more dangerous to wolves than wolves have ever been to humans. As the settlers spread deeper into the wilderness, they came face to face with wolves for real, and they began to kill them. By the turn of the century, wolves in America were hunted, poisoned, even set on fire. During a 35-year period in Montana alone, over 80,000 wolves were destroyed. In Yellowstone National Park, U.S. soldiers were ordered to exterminate the gray wolf population. Unfortunately, they did a very good job, and today, in the American West, wolves face extinction. Some people befriended them, and still do. Native Americans respect the wolf as a friend, teacher, and skillful hunter.
Wolves gives us a lot of spiritual power, and with the absence of wolves, maybe that has something to do with the hardships of our people.
To the Nez Perce Indians of northern Idaho, the wolf was honored and praised, an important part of growing up.
We will talk about the wolf, how important it was to our people, and the way we coexisted with it. It was used as a part of our vision quest when a young boy had to go into the mountains to seek his vision. There were different kinds of visions that that young boy would receive. One of them would be of that of the wolf. That wolf would sing a song to that young man, and he would tell him, I am going to be your guide. I am going to be your protector.
Wolves may be missing here, but they're not forgotten.
They show great strength, and I really wish they wouldn't have taken them out. I really think it's a great thing to do something in our country.
The Nez Perce of Idaho, along with people like Lauren Croneman of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, are working to rebuild a home for wolves in Idaho.
We'd like to provide an area for people to learn what the truth is about wolves. The proposed project that the Nez Perce tribe would like to start is an area back behind me here on the large meadow, and on the right and left sides would be an enclosure to house 8 wolves that we will use for educational and research purposes.
Perhaps one day this Nez Perce land, once home to dozens of packs of wild wolves, will be home again, stirring the passion of a culture, and returning to the landscape an animal that has been missing for the last 100 years. The Nez Perce aren't the only people trying to change how we look at wolves. Husband and wife Pat Tucker and Bruce Weedy are raising their very own wolf. But this is no pet. You see, Pat is a wildlife biologist. Bruce is a writer who's explored myths and attitudes about wolves. They visit schools, parks, and communities around the country as part of the Ambassador Wolf program.
And you go like this.
The real purpose and function of this Ambassador Wolf program is to allow people that might otherwise not be able to see an actual wolf. There's a lot of misconceptions about this animal, just as far as size even. And, you know, one of the things we really like to say is that if a picture is worth 1,000 words, the sight of a live animal is worth 1,000 pictures.
This is Koani. That's a Blackfeet Indian word for play. Koani is a member of the gray wolf species. She weighs about 100 pounds. She was raised in captivity for a film about wolves and never learned how to survive in the wild. So when the project was over, Koani needed a home. That's where Pat and Bruce came in. Today, Pat and Bruce take care of Koani's every need. It all looks easy and risk-free, but remember, Koani is not a dog. She's a wolf, and special precautions must be taken.
We take her out for an hour and a half in the morning and an hour and a half in the evening. Wolves are most active at dawn and dusk, so we're kind of copying that natural routine.
Sometimes it's tough getting Koani to cooperate.
Koani's a little bit like having a 2-year-old around. She's very inquisitive, she's very curious, but she really wants her own way, and she's not here to please us. They really are terrible pets. But I think she's a good teacher.
Pat and Bruce aren't happy having to keep Koani under lock and key. But as they travel from town to town, they realize her importance. She helps people learn the real story about the nature of wolves. Scientific research is another way to further understand wolf biology and behavior. Important work is going on here, in northern Minnesota, where wolves still roam free, perhaps as many as 2,000. Most live in the boundary territories near Canada, also home to scientist Lori Schmidt and her wolf tracking van.
The purpose of the research is to try to learn as much as you can about wolves and their environment, where they travel, where they live, where they keep their pups, how they take care of their pups, when they hunt. That information gained helps us manage them better and ensure that they're going to be around for the next 100 or 200 years.
To better understand wolf behavior, scientists like Lori track wolves. They're like wolf detectives.
White Scat, this is Gamma. I'm positioned at Site 3. I'm going to begin a search and try to put the animal in the air.
The wolves have been outfitted with radio collars, so Lori can pick up their signals.
This is Gamma. I have located the wolf and will be documenting his position momentarily.
A handheld tracking unit confirms the position of the wolves. We moved in closer, but never close enough to disturb their natural movements.
Our vans are usually parked no closer than a half a mile to where the wolf is located. Our objective is to study their movement patterns without disrupting them. If we walk in on them or try to approach them any closer, that may make them move, and then we wouldn't be following true movement patterns.
Northern Minnesota is one of the very few reminders of days and wolves gone by. But that may be changing. As people like Stephen Fritz of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service work to reintroduce wolves into other states. While hiking with his family through Idaho's vast wilderness, he explains how the absence of wolves here upsets the balance of nature.
We have done it. We made it, didn't we? High five, guys. Okay, all right. Okay, now, listen, everyone. I want you to listen real carefully. This is one of the most beautiful places in all of northwestern U.S. You might say it's kind of nature at its best, but you know it's been missing one thing for about 60 or 70 or 80 years, and that's packs of wolves. But it looks like maybe now within the next 3 to 5 years there will be packs of wolves back in here again. To me, that's a very, very exciting thing and a real milestone in the whole conservation movement in this country.
And a real milestone in the effort to preserve the balance of nature. David Langhorst heads the Wolf Education and Research Center in Idaho.
Their natural balance is missing, and we want to reintroduce that. And, you know, I think that the point is that all components of an ecosystem, all of the animals and all the plants have a place.
The wolf's place is as a predator. For example, wolves prey on deer. Without wolves, there would be too many deer for the amount of food available, and some deer would die of starvation. This is one small example of how wolves help maintain the delicate balance of nature. Wolves, back in Idaho,